Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah and today I'm going to be talking about my 5 favorite audiobooks of last year, 2020. I decided to do a separate video for audiobooks even though there is going to be some overlap with my favorites of just like the whole year, because I think sometimes when you listen to like a really good audiobook, it just can really enhance the whole experience in a way that like is very different from just reading the book. So I kind of wanted to highlight that here. The first one I'm going to start with is Illuminae by Kristoff and Amie Kaufman. The whole series, basically, the Illuminae files, not just the first book. I'm not going to say all the voice actors' names because there's like quite a few, but it's like a full cast recording, which is awesome because it really helps you to get like immersed in the whole story because there's such distinct voices for each character, but also it has a lot of like noises and music to go along with like all the action that's happening, and I just found it like a very pleasant listening experience. And I think it's one of the reasons I mainly like think of Mass Effect when I was listening to the books, just because it really has that like spacey, synthy, vibey feel that I like a lot in my sci-fi space epics. So yeah, it's really good. I highly recommend it, and I do think like with all the added sound and music and everything, it definitely feels very different than just reading the book. And I think if you're gonna read the book, if you like audiobooks, definitely pick up the audiobook for sure. The next whole series I want to recommend on audiobook is The Diviners by Libba Bray. The voice actress for this series is January Lavoie, and she is absolutely incredible. She does separate voices for all the characters, and she's extremely talented, so you really just feel like each character has a very distinct personality, and she just highlights that so well. I like was literally blown away by her voice acting. Like, I can't emphasize enough how incredible she is. It's truly mind-boggling. Like, she does so many different accents and dialects because it is set in the 1920s in New York, and so you're getting all these different immigrant backgrounds together and all these different characters from these backgrounds, and she's just stunning. She's incredible. And so if you don't know, The Diviners follows a group of, I think, teenagers to like young adults who all have special powers and are like interacting with this like paranormal world, and there's like one main overarching antagonist through the whole series, the King of Crows, and you kind of follow them in their adventures as they learn about the King of Crows and learn how to, you know, try to defeat the King of Crows. It's like a whole big epic. I had mixed feelings about the books themselves and the plot, just because sometimes it felt a little slow, sometimes they felt really long. All of that, I really think like I would not have gotten through them had I not been able to listen to the audiobooks. That's a real testament to January Lavoie. So I highly recommend those books if you're interested in like paranormal 1920s YA, but also if you're just interested in hearing like an incredible voice actress. And honestly, the first book is really good. If you just wanted to listen to that one, you'd probably be fine. Good stop. Maybe the second book too. Layer of Dreams is like pretty good, but the first book is she's pretty good. Next like series favorite audiobooks I listened to this year was the Raven Boys series. It's 4 books and they're all narrated by Will Patton. And the series is authored by Maggie Steifvater, and I really enjoyed these books. It's another like paranormal YA fiction series, and it follows a group of boys who go to this boarding school in this kind of like rural America area, and then they befriend this girl who's the daughter of like psychics in the town, and you kind of just follow all of their adventures with like these paranormal supernatural things going on around them. And it's really a lovely YA series. I revisited it this year and really enjoyed it, and I was very surprised how much I enjoyed it because I did not like Shiver by Maggie Steifvater at all. I thought it was trash, absolute trash. So I really liked the Raven Boys, and I found each book to be really entertaining. And this was another book where the voice acting was just great. Will Patton had a different voice for everyone and was like very committed to his voices and did a really good job with all the accents and everything, and I just found it so enjoyable listening to him as he went through the books. So again, this is another series where I think if you like audiobooks, I highly recommend picking it up with the audiobooks. Super good. The next one is Lincoln and the Bardo by George Saunders, and this is narrated by so many different people. I can't even like begin to get into it, but like Nick Offerman's a character, Megan Mullally's a character. Like, there's so many great people who are voices in it, and they are all so talented and so dedicated to their characters. It's really incredible. Like, the amount of people. I think there's like over 100 people who voice characters in this book, and it's great. The book itself is about Lincoln after the death of his child, the one that dies from its days. Oh my gosh, I just read this book like a week ago and I can't even remember the name of this kid. I think it was William. But it follows his son, who's kind of in this place called the Bardo, which is like sort of like purgatory if you're familiar with Christian tradition, but it's basically like in between the afterlife and death. And so it follows all these ghosts that are trying to assist Lincoln's son in getting to the afterlife, and then there's also Lincoln in it, and there's kind of like White House history in it, and it's very weird, to be quite honest. The ghosts are all very strange and full of life and character, and while they are very weird, it's also very compelling and interesting to listen to. And I think when I think of this book, I think about Hamlet and just like kind of the like wit that all the characters seem to possess and the way they talk and everything and their voices. So I think if you do like Shakespeare plays or just kind of that sort of style of play that's very quick-witted, like I think even if you like maybe like Letterkenny, that might be a good more modern example. Like it has that kind of quick wit, and I honestly highly recommend listening to it on audiobook over reading the book. Even though I liked reading the book, I found just all the different voices to be so much fun. And I think because the book isn't technically a play, but is very much written like a play, and so I think if you can listen to it, it's kind of a better experience anyways. So really good, highly recommend it, as I recommend everything in this video because they're all my favorites. I get confused between 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle and The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It's very confusing, and I think they both came out like the same year, and I just read both of them this year, so it's confusing. But the one I really want to highlight is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. Oh, I just realized I'm looking at this. I'm gonna put the narrator's name here because I wrote down the narrators for 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo in my little notepad thing here, so that was stupid of me. But that book also has a narrator. Again, it's a very similar theme. He just does a lot of different voices for the characters, and it's just super immersive and interesting, and I really enjoyed it. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle is like this mystery novel about this person who keeps waking up in different bodies, and they're trying to solve a mystery basically. And it kind of has, I think, like it sort of has a Knives Out vibe, and that it's a bunch of rich people, and that's kind of where the vibe stops, but it is really fun. And I think the narrator does a very good job of like setting the scene and really making you feel like you're there with, again, the voices and accents and everything. I think like what I do really like most about the narrators in all of these books is just that they really make you feel like you're there in the moment, and they're not just kind of reading, but they're really like committed to the moments that they're reading, which I really like. I think too the same narrator is actually narrating The Devil in the Dark Water, which I'm currently listening and reading right now, and I'm really liking it too. I just really enjoy Stuart Turton and his writing, and I like who he picked to do his narrations. So yeah, this was a short one, but thank you so much for watching. Check back for another video soon. Bye!